Ready?
I was born ready.
Are we recording?
We've been recording. We do this every freaking time. You watch me push the button.
I don't watch
and then
it.
You're
I
surprised
can't see you pushing a
when
button.
I push the button.
The laptop isn't facing me. You pushed a lot of buttons. How would I
All
know?
right, that's fair. I'll give you that
Okay.
point.
All right.
But when I pick up the mic, we're going.
You were
So
holding
don't
the mic.
ask if we're not ready. If we're ready, because then you just look like
no,
a jackass.
No,
every
you
time
should
you're
tell.
like,
You think I just sit here staring at you?
I know you do.
I don't.
I watch you do it.
I try not to look
and
at you.
your hands usually down
as
your
often
pants
as possible.
at the time.
I always try not to look at you. I'm just saying. Why don't you
Hey,
tell
everybody.
me? Hi, it's a podcast.
Welcome.
All right, hey, it's Wacky Game
Did
Podcast.
you miss us?
Me, Adam McLaughlin, sitting here with Jeff Reitman.
That would be me.
There he is.
I'm glad he pointed at me when he said that.
Just for the
Those of you who aren't watching it, which is none of you.
none of you, we're not
video recording it. Which,
There's
by the
probably
way,
somebody around here.
real quick, for those of you who listen to audio only, we did not record an audio podcast last time, or did not post it. We did a video podcast.
Yep.
It's on YouTube. We're probably going to do that every once in a while. There's mixed reaction on whether people like that or this.
Yeah, well, we were playing NHL 08.
Old school style.
Yeah, I think we need to play a game that we can actually... Like, I didn't understand how to play the game. I couldn't
Neither
really
one
talk.
of us did, which is why it was so fun.
But no, I couldn't talk because I was too busy being frustrated about not understanding how the game
That's
works.
going to happen with every game. I think people enjoyed watching us struggle through the game and then talk about random crap, but...
I don't think anybody enjoyed watching
No,
NHL.
you just don't read the comments.
If I had to assume, some of the comments would be, "Why are you forcing me to watch NHL? This is even more boring than real hockey." I think that might be a comment too.
No, real hockey's fucking awesome. You need to shut your mouth. Which, by the way,
Sorry,
I'm
buddy.
going to a Sharks game in December.
Wow, that sounds
It's going to be awesome.
great.
What'd you do over Thanksgiving?
I ate and slept.
You didn't go home. You stayed here.
I stayed here. Went to Ryan Cronin's place.
Oh, did
Yep.
he have a little shindig?
He had a little shindig. His wife Angela made tons of food, and I felt like I was going to be sick. I ate so much. So typical Thanksgiving.
I was in France.
That is so un-American. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
France for Thanksgiving. Hey, maybe you could spend the 4th of July in, like, Japan.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Avoiding Americans on Black Friday, I have to say I kind of enjoyed it.
I didn't even go out on Black Friday.
Oh, well, that's the thing, right? I would have just been stuck at home, which isn't much different for most of the days I'm
Yeah.
at home. But no, my wife's dad was there for a convention, and so he wasn't going to be able to hang out with us on Thanksgiving. So we met him in France and hung out with him prior to his convention.
All right.
So it was kind of Thanksgiving. We were in family thing, you know.
Did you eat turkey? Do they even have turkey in
They
France?
have turkey. I had
I bet they
on
they probably
Thanksgiving
eat
Day.
peacock.
We went up the Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And for
odd.
dinner, we had a meal right near the Eiffel Tower. My wife got duck.
I like duck.
Duck is good, and
That's
it's
my favorite bird to eat.
It's very good.
That and second would be
Like
Cornish game
A
hen.
fried
game
duck
hen.
egg, or not duck egg, duck leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm
I
talking
like Cornish
about.
game hen too because it makes me feel like a giant.
All they are baby chickens.
They're not baby chickens.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. You
Okay,
moron.
what are they?
They're Cornish game hens.
It's a name for a young chicken. That's all it is.
Whatever. I don't think
Go
so.
look it up. Go look it up. Anyway,
You're the one with the computer. You
I
can look it
had Italian food.
up. Oh God, Jeff.
Because I hate
killing me.
cheese. I hate cheese. So like half the things on the menu were like blah 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 with Gouda blah blah blah.
You hate
blah,
Italian food, or you ate Italian food because you hate cheese. Half the things that are Italian have cheese in it.
meat sauce. That's it.
That's it. That's
Usually the cheese in Italian for like pasta is just on top.
if anybody's
Where
ever,
most of them in French are actually in the dish. So
if
like,
anybody's ever watched Jeff eat, he eats like a 5-year-old child.
the fuck you talking about?
It's the truth. Like I'd like a hamburger with nothing on it but ketchup. like that's how a kid orders. I want spaghetti, but only sauce, nothing else.
No, I thought you're critiquing my use of a bib.
Oh no. Well, you're pretty sloppy.
Because you use one too.
I know I do,
But
but that's because I'm a glutton. Like there's a
and I'm an eat
difference.
freak.
You're a neat freak. I'm looking at this crap hole that we're in right now.
It's not a crap hole.
It's not a crap. It's not a crap hole.
My basement is bigger than Adam's apartment almost.
I have a very big apartment.
Yeah, he's just got 5 people in it.
I have 3. We have 3 people. We have 2 living rooms. I would argue that my place is probably bigger than yours.
Actually, not.
I think it might be.
You guys don't have the basement.
Okay, we don't have a basement.
Your main floor is probably the same size as my main floor.
Okay, nobody wants to hear this.
No.
Anyway. Okay, well, the thing that I did do over Thanksgiving is I played a ton of video games.
I didn't.
I played a butt ton. Like, I played Force Unleashed.
Uh-huh.
Force Unleashed 2. Actually, Nick Cody was wanted us to talk about that, so that was serendipitous.
Serendipitous is a word Adam doesn't get to use very often.
No, and I don't think I used it right. But the thing is, Force Unleashed 2. I'm going to tell you this. It was a fun game. It was beautiful.
Did you finish it all the way?
Yeah, I had a day. Like that was my problem with it. My only problem with it was how short it was. You know, it's because seriously,
how long did it take you?
It took me about like 7 or 8 hours, something like that.
I think that's a fair amount for a video game, though.
See, no, I want more.
A good story-based single-player game. That 4 hours, I get pissed. 6 hours, I get irritated. Like 8, I'm okay.
No, I want a video game,
especially if there's other stuff to do.
I want a video game to last a minimal of 20 hours.
That's not reasonable. I don't
really?
think. Yeah,
because I'm playing Fallout, New Vegas.
Fallout's an open world game, so the only games you're going to get that in is open world games, and those games pad themselves with boring content.
You know, maybe that's true, but look at.
I would rather not have the boring content.
I don't think it's boring content.
Like the side missions in Red Dead Redemption, boring.
I like those.
Oh, the rescue the woman, like you're just running by and a woman's like, "Oh, help me!" and then the robbers jump out.
I like that because if I can either help her or I can kill her and take her stuff.
Then why don't I just give you a game where you just shoot ladies in the head?
That's not the only thing there is in Red Dead Redemption.
No, but when you're doing the story missions, and the riding is boring after a while too, when you're running back and forth and back and forth. See, that's the difference. I would rather have a rich, short piece of content than a very long, boring pothead piece of content, is all I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying, look, I'll have you know, I did not smoke pot once while I was playing.
And maybe it would have made TFU a little more enjoyable for you.
No, I'm just saying, it feels like it finishes right when I'm getting started, right when I'm really getting into it. It's like it's done.
Well, maybe that's a failure of the story more than the game.
Maybe.
Because maybe this is my recollection, but I don't remember Uncharted 2 taking me more than 8 to 10 hours.
That's true. Uncharted 2 did only take about 8 or 10 hours.
And you didn't complain about that.
But Uncharted 2 is one of those, like, it was watching a movie. I was watching a movie, you know? And an 8-hour movie, that's a decent amount of time for a movie. Uncharted 2 is an odd duck. I
think it's how things should be.
I don't know. I like more. I think the thing is, if I'm going to spend that much money on a video game, I want to really just delve into it.
If you're going to do 8 to 10 hours, it's got to be an awesome 8 to 10 hours. It can't have lulls, or it feels like you've been cheated.
Yeah, I guess that's
true. If it's a open world game, you can have some boring ass side quests.
See, but okay, Ratchet and Clank, not an open world game, but those games always took more than 10 hours.
Only if you're being completist.
Well, yeah.
Like if you just play the game, go through the levels.
You could just
10
zip
hours
through it.
No, not even.
You could zip through it in 10 hours.
Except for Jack 2, which sucked, but let's not talk about that.
Jack 2?
Jack and Daxter 2. Hate that game.
We were talking about Ratchet and Clank.
I know, but we were talking about Ratchet and Clank.
You
and Jack
yelled
and
at me
earlier.
a while ago because I said they were the same thing.
They're not.
20 minutes ago.
They're platformer games.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, Mario. There's another one. The Mario Brothers games. I mean, not the original ones, but like Mario, even from Super Nintendo, Super Mario World.
Really? I don't remember how long that took. It's been so damn long.
It felt long then. It was probably about 8 hours.
I bet you it was. Because you couldn't fucking turn it off.
No, you could turn that one off. It saved your progress on the Super Nintendo. But
back in the day, like anything that took more than an hour, it was like shit.
Well, that was one of the most frustrating things about the Mario games was that, the original 3, it's like, hey, you want to beat Super Mario Brothers? I hope you got 5 hours.
Yeah, hope you got the weekend.
Yeah. Don't let your mom catch you playing.
Don't turn the power off. Just turn the TV off.
Zelda was the worst for that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because you couldn't take the cartridge out. If you took the cartridge out, everything erased. Your save game erased.
Thank God that's over.
Yeah.
Thank God we've figured out how to use memory.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the conversation we were having. Hey-o! So what do you want?
Do you have anything else on Force Unleashed?
On Force Unleashed? No, that's all I got for Force Unleashed.
All right. So, Nick, we really didn't talk about much. But I played...
We talked about it.
Right prior to going away for Thanksgiving, I got Shattered Dimensions. Spiderman.
Oh, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
On PS3.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So what did you think? Let's be honest.
How far did you get past Craven?
I got all the way to the end.
I rage quit at Craven.
Why?
For 2 reasons. One, there's an area, it's kind of the tutorial, where she's telling you how to sneak around.
Yeah.
Okay, after playing Arkham Asylum, that is the lamest sneaking I've ever seen in my life. There's some things they do really well once you get into the Craven level with jumping between the pillars.
Yeah.
And once you figure out the controls, it's very easy and cool. But after you do the sneaking and killing the guys, there's a part where you have to wall crawl, and oh my God, worst camera ever.
Isn't it? I hate that. I told you that before.
And this was solved. I remember Alien vs. Predator on the PC, like, I don't know, 99, 2000-ish.
It's solved in Spider-Man Web of Shadows. You don't have the problem. For those of you who don't know, what it is they don't let you take control of your camera in the game. They don't really let you take control. So when you're walking on the wall...
They do, but not when you're on the wall, it goes into a different mode.
Yeah, the camera tries to always stay behind you.
Follow in a weird way.
And it doesn't work. So if you ever try and go around a corner, it's pretty much impossible.
You're lost. You're like, where am I pointing?
Yeah.
And then compounded, this first area, it's dark.
Yep,
and you're wearing
dark.
a black fucking costume. So you can't even see what... Am I on the wall or the ceiling? Oh,
well, no, the worst thing is you're on the wall and you need to get
target
these guys.
The dude.
But
Yeah.
you can't move your camera to look at the guys while you're walking on the wall. So you basically have to crawl on the wall blindly.
Stop.
Look over, see if the guy's somewhere in the vicinity. Try and figure out where he's going to be, and then blindly crawl on the wall, hoping that he doesn't see you.
And it's maddening because other parts of the game are so good.
The game looks great. The story's really interesting, but the camera and there's so many places in the game. I guess you didn't get very far. There's so many places in the game where you have to web shoot onto different objects.
Yeah.
So it's like with the Sandman. He has this hurricane going on, and there's all these objects in the air, and you have to web shoot from one to the other to get to the platforms, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no way to target where you're going to shoot. So sometimes you'll be trying to shoot a web at a box or something, and you end up getting one of the Sandman villains who you grab, and it's just infuriating.
See, now I died in Craven because I put it down before the Craven boss fight. I saved, I went and did something, I came back and I kind of forgot the controls a little. Just like I hadn't been playing the game long enough for them to become second nature. Mm-hmm. So the first part of the Craven fight, I lose like a shit ton of my health.
Yeah.
Just relearning. And then I get towards the end, there's a part where he goes and strangles you. Like it's first person and you're punching.
And you have to do the punching
which
thing.
was bad.
It's just,
not
why
fun.
do I have to do that?
But I got past that and then died, and it brought me all the way back to the beginning of the punching part.
Yeah.
And I rage quit. That was like enough after the shitty camera and all this other. I'm just like, screw this.
Here's the thing with
I
the punching.
game-flied it. I don't need this.
Almost every villain grabs you and you have to do that punching thing. But did you notice that after you beat them up with the punching, it doesn't affect their health meter at all? Like there's
like
no
a mini
reason.
game. And you do the mini game and then you're back to the normal
Yeah, you do a mini game with absolutely
But they
no
affect your
consequence
health.
or relative. Yeah,
Yeah.
it screws up your health.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with anything that's going on. And I feel the same way because I was just so disappointed. I was looking forward to this game so much, and they really shit the bed. You know, it's. And I'm telling you this: if it wasn't Spider-Man, if it was just somebody else,
If it was not
that would be
IP,
considered a horrible game.
You would not have even. You would have stopped where I stopped.
I would have just thrown it away. Well, I would have sent it back to GameFly the same day.
Well, you probably wouldn't even GameFly it. That's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, I because it wouldn't get good reviews.
Yeah.
Like people are giving it great reviews. I would probably give it a 5 out of 10. And I think I'm being generous.
Yeah, I think 6. What would you give in TFU?
I would say that gets about a, because nothing really gets a 10, you know, but I would give that a 7.
Yeah, all right. That sounds fair.
Yeah. Whereas I've started playing Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas.
Oh my God, that game is awesome.
Ugh.
That game is so good. If you haven't played Fallout New Vegas, get it. It's more Fallout. You know, I mean, it's Fallout 3.
I didn't finish Fallout 3. I rage quit Fallout 3 too.
Why?
I told you about this.
But
We
I
talked
blocked it
about
out
this.
because it's annoying.
I had one of those. You know how you can do good and bad things, and sometimes when you do bad things, there's really bad consequences?
Yeah, it was your fault. You screwed the pooch on something.
No, I accidentally picked someone's pocket when I was trying to pick a lock.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy turned around and started shooting at me. So I ran out of the town. And when I ran out of the town, they wouldn't let me back in. And my only save game was back when I was still, like, not out in the world.
Yeah.
Back inside, I forget, the vault or whatever they called it.
You screwed up.
Sort of, but...
No, you did. Everybody knows you're supposed to have at least 2 different saved games on any one
I did
of
have
those
2
things.
different save games. I just
Yeah,
wasn't...
you had one at the very beginning,
Yeah,
and the one that you were
one at
actually
the end of
using.
the vault.
You screwed up.
I saved right
You screwed
before
up.
making my character decision. so
Exactly.
that-
You screwed up. Like, there's nothing wrong. I'd say Fallout New Vegas, 9.5.
Yeah, I know.
You haven't played it.
Fallout 3 was the Dragon Age of that year.
Oh, you... Why do you hate good games?
All right, because you suck. Oh, speaking
You got
of...
the Ghostbusters game in the mail.
I did. It was $10 on Amazon.
Yeah. Bam.
What? I guarantee you I'm going to enjoy this shit more than Spider-Man.
You know what? You probably will enjoy the Ghostbusters game, because my biggest problem with it was that it was crazy short. And I never got to drive the
For
friggin' car.
$10?
I never got to drive the car.
$10. You
They
think
make
it's
a
not
big deal
worth
about that
$10?
car. They don't let you drive it.
You're not going to
It's
answer my
stupid.
question. $10.
Okay, I guess it would be worth $10.
All right. You know what
just by the fact that, you know...
I got Assassin's Creed Brotherhood because Frodo the hobo said I should do it. So if this game sucks, your ass is grass, Frodo.
I'm about to tell you something that's probably going to piss you off.
What?
I played Assassin's Creed again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I actually like it.
The first one or the second
The first one. The first
See, the
one.
first one is bad compared to the second one.
Yeah, well, it's the sneaking around. How I told you I hated it. I still don't really like the sneaking around that much, but now I have this huge TV my roommate got, and it looks really nice. Assassin's Creed looks
No, you
beautiful.
need to get the second one.
But
When are you getting that Xbox?
the Xbox should be this month.
That's
gonna
what you
be-
keep saying. I just gave you... Adam got his first pay for doing this shit.
$20.
Yeah. It was a partial payment for the month.
Yeah, it was $20. I'll be getting it as soon as I get the money from a video that I did and from some scripts that I'm writing.
Which video?
I did a video for a pet food company.
Oh, like you filmed something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant YouTube. I'm like, where are you getting $100 from YouTube?
No, it was a porn video.
Chicka wow, chicka, yeah.
But Assassin's
Gonna
Creed
give
pretty
it
good.
to you, girl.
Didn't you have something you wanted to talk about?
I'm gonna talk
Why are
about
you
the
still singing?
porn movies.
I don't think you've ever seen a porno because there's not that music doesn't sound anything
All
like
right,
porn
before we get off the topic of Thanksgiving, while I was in
music. We
France,
were talking about Thanksgiving.
sort of all the games we were playing
like
over
20 minutes
last
ago.
week.
Okay, whatever.
My friend Jake, shout out to Jake who listens to our podcast on his long ass drive. Got me hooked on ComicZeal on the iPad, which is a comic book reading app.
Oh yeah.
And you got to get the comics somehow. And I'm not saying how I got them, legal or illegal.
Well, you got them legally.
I totally scanned all these comics from actual comics I own onto my PC, and then spent the hours to get them into the format they needed to be in. I did that, and then I went to France and read The Preacher.
All of Preacher?
Now I'm on like issue 30 something.
Okay.
A lot of Preacher. Mm-hmm. That's freaking good. Yeah, that shit's old too.
Yeah, Preacher's really good.
But that was in my non-comic reading like hole where I'd stopped for a while.
Yeah, Jeff stopped reading comic books for like 10 years.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Intermittent. Like someone would give me a graphic novel and I read it, and then I worked for a company where we had graphic novels, but they were DC.
No, Preacher's brilliant.
Freaking yeah.
You know another oldie but goodie that I just discovered, The Boys. You ever read The Boys?
Go figure. Drink.
Oh, I guess that did sound good. But no, it's a great comic. It's about
the look on his face was like, "What are you talking about?" And then it's like, "Oh yeah, that's good."
No, it's a great comic. It's about a group of like, I don't know, police officers. Or they're not really police officers. It's like secret police for superheroes. They basically kill, beat up, blackmail superheroes because it turns out in this reality, superheroes are kind of bad people. The majority of superheroes are corrupt, cruel.
Assholes?
Yes.
Huh.
And it's awesome.
That's why I like The Preacher.
Yeah. Preacher, it's gritty. It's more real.
Moral ambiguity, sort of. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, some people may not like it because it doesn't really dog on Christianity. It just kind of messes with it.
Well, if you're a hardcore Christian I mean, they do have God in it. Have you seen God yet?
Yeah, if you're one of those people who instantly, anytime someone says Jesus Christ in like a saying and thinks it's blasphemy, you're not going to want to read this comic.
But you'd know that just looking at the cover. The guy is dressed up like a priest and like he has a gun. It's like, this guy might not be good.
Maybe he's a priest vigilante. Well, he kind of is.
Priest vigilante? That sounds tasty.
Pre-gilante?
It sounds like an Italian, like...
Hey, Pregilante.
Hey, I'll give you some Pregilante. It's like a gelato. Boogie.
What the hell was that?
that was Italian.
That was
all of our fans in Italy can vouch for me. I just said a bunch of stuff in Italian.
Oh, yeah, right.
No, that's what I said. A bunch of stuff, quote unquote.
Welcome back, everybody.
All right, here we go.
Kevin wants more on Cataclysm. I'm doing a video for Friday. It will already be up by the time you listen to this.
More on Cataclysm.
Okay. Let's see. Steven? What did Steven want? Oh, he wanted to talk about OnLive. Now, you don't know what OnLive is.
I have no idea.
It's a service you pay, I think, monthly. I'm not sure what the cost payment fee is, but it's a service on the PC where you can play PC games without ever downloading them. And what it does is it plays them on the server, and you're just seeing the video, and it's sending all the mouse input and everything back to the server and mimicking what you're doing. So you can pretty much play your games anywhere on any level of PC because it doesn't matter what kind of, like whether you have a cheap PC or a high-end PC.
Yeah.
It's only limited by your internet connection. So he wants to know what we think about it. It's free to try. I don't see it going anywhere. Because, how can I put this? I don't think doing that on PC is the interesting thing. I think integrating it with a cable box is a more interesting thing. Mm-hmm. But you're never going to be able to do something over the internet like you can do on a box in your own house. It's just not going to happen. And as long as the emphasis is on graphics and all this stuff, and twitchy games which require quick latency between when the user presses a button and when you see it on screen, it's just not going to work. And OnLive has latency. It's not high for what it's doing, but it's still...
But there's still lag.
There's still lag between what you do and some games are more...
You know what I think? I mean, like, how often are you going to be someplace at a stranger's computer where you want to play?
It's not even a stranger's, but you can play games without installing them, buying them, or downloading them.
Well, yeah, I guess that's
right. It's like on-demand cable, basically. Like, oh, today I'm just going to go dick around with Modern Warfare 2 for no reason other than I can, and it's free because I'm paying a monthly fee.
Oh. I mean, if it didn't have lag, it would be cool.
What I'd rather see is the ability for me to have actual on-demand on my Xbox, which they've kind of done this sort of with World of Warcraft now, where as you're playing, it'll download the stuff you need. So it downloads up to a certain point, and then you can play. And then as you're playing, it downloads the rest of the stuff in the background.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that even better implemented so that when you're playing console games, like if I want to maybe pay $10 a month, I can get access to this giant catalog of older games, and I can just start playing them. I don't need to download them.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy them or install them. I just
video games on demand.
Yeah, I just want to play Jak and Daxter, and I just hit a button, and I don't care if I have to wait 10 seconds.
Well, it seems
but
like
then I'm into it.
It's kind of odd that they don't have something like that, because
I know, because the way games are, you need a certain data set to start the game, and it's a fairly big data set most of the time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's for modern games.
Yeah,
but you can't tell me that like you couldn't very easily have a system like that for old school games.
It depends
like,
on
probably
how
all the way up
badly
to
they're
PlayStation,
written.
You know?
Oh, you could certainly do it for like Wii and Nintendo 64 games, but that's all Nintendo, and they're not going to ever do that.
I don't like Nintendo.
I don't either. Every time I talk about them, I
get disappointed.
my butt chafes.
I just get disappointed.
I get dysentery. I still not plugged in my Wii. It's sitting right there, all lonely and limp.
Yeah. How long have you had it?
I had it. I've had it since launch.
Yeah.
But
how
it
many
hasn't
times
been
have
plugged
you played
in for
it?
2 months. It hasn't been turned on in over a year.
It's my thing. It's boring. Like the games are. I haven't played a game yet where I was like, "This is a really great game. I'm so happy. I'm waving my stick in the air." Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, but
Super Mario Galaxy, I enjoyed watching.
Okay, touche. Super Mario, anything with Super Mario is pretty good.
I enjoyed watching my wife play. I didn't actually play it, but she was having a blast, and she was monopolizing the TV, and usually she doesn't do that.
Yeah.
The fact that she stopped playing World of Warcraft to play that game means a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I was playing Zelda, and I was just getting frustrated and bored. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah. I miss, like, Wind Waker, I think was the last Zelda game I really liked.
I like using a controller.
Yeah. You
Like-
can for the Zelda game.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Oh, Kinect sold 2.5 million units. That's huge.
Hitler sold a lot of buttons.
All right, I guess we're not talking about that then. The fuck was that about?
I don't like Kinects.
You had a blast playing Dance Central. I have video archival footage.
I did not have a blast.
How did it feel getting your ass kicked in the million views vids?
You know,
And you pretty much had it handed to you.
you played the game before me.
Which?
All of them except for the one that I beat you.
No, I played that before.
You played the fighting game?
Not Dead or Alive 4, but I've played a fighting game. And oh, by the way, you said, quote, this is a very rough quote, "No, all fighting games aren't the same. Everyone tell Jeff how wrong he is," in the comments. Overwhelmingly, everyone said all fighting games are the same.
Well, they're wrong.
No, everyone else is right and you're wrong.
No, they're wrong.
It's a shame you can't
They're wrong.
admit it.
No, you know what's sad? That the majority of our viewers are button smashers, just like you. Because if you take the time to learn how the games work,
The
they're
mechanics
different.
are all the same. Now, it may do a different move, but there's a fixed moveset you can do with the controller. You just try them and see what happens.
You suck.
I know this, and I don't even play fighting games.
They're not all the same.
But how did it feel? I mean,
How did it
Were
feel?
you crying
How
all
did
night?
it feel to watch you dance a routine that you've clearly danced several times before? Because I saw on the screen that you had danced it several times before. How did it feel?
You did not know how many times. I did have a high score, though.
How did it feel for me to get beaten by somebody who is doing choreographed moves that he has rehearsed? It felt like you were gay.
No, so here's the
Because
difference.
you played it by yourself.
This is the same guy who at the beginning of the video said, "Oh, I'm a great dancer. I'm going to kick your ass."
See,
and
I am a great
like
dancer.
A retarded stripper.
Because I didn't
You
know
look like an autistic stripper trying to dance.
I am a great dancer. I'm not good at Simon Says. All right? I'm not good at mirroring what somebody else is doing. If I had done it enough to get a really high score like you did.
I've played that song once.
That's one more time than I've played it. And by the way, you've danced all of the friggin' dances on that thing. I looked.
No.
You danced all the ones at the top. All the ones that were on the screen.
Yes.
All right.
No, there was another 15 songs I haven't played.
Okay, but how many songs have you danced?
11.
There you go. And you tell me you've only danced each of those once?
Pretty much, yeah.
Liar. You're a liar.
No, the first 4 or 5, I've done maybe 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when we filmed those, I hadn't had the Connect more than like 2 days.
Yeah, whatever. You were still playing it.
One day. I played through all the songs once.
But it's a dance routine, and you got to rehearse.
You don't remember that shit, dude. You follow the instructions.
I would. All of a sudden, shit
Dude,
started.
It was telling you to lift your left leg, and you couldn't even do that.
Because okay, first off, by the way, I'm dyslexic. All right, so I was lifting my right leg.
You weren't lifting any leg. You were lifting your arm, which I don't know if dyslexia causes you to forget which part of your body is the bottom and the top.
You suck. You are an idiot. You suck, and you know I'm right.
You're wrong.
You rehearsed.
You're wrong.
You rehearsed. It's like having a contest for us doing a speech where you got to read the speech first and rehearse it at home, and then I just have to read it off a teleprompter. I'm sure you'll be able to do the speech much better than me.
It's like we're going to play competitive volleyball, but I've played volleyball once and you haven't played volleyball at all. I still don't know how you're going to play.
No.
Dude, a retarded competitor is harder than a no.
The 11. You admit you played the 11.
All the songs are completely different.
They're completely different.
Yes.
The moves are pretty similar. All right?
Not at all.
All right? And
you're clearly retarded.
Screw you.
Go watch the video.
Go
watch the video. We played 3 different songs.
I know we played 3 different songs.
And all the moves are different.
Yeah, all the moves are slightly
different.
Except
the step side-to-side move, which you can't figure out, you're fucking retarded.
I hate you. I hate you.
It's not my fault.
No, it is your fault. See, you're a little weasel.
This is why we can never have a competition, because Adam won't ever own up to losing.
I totally own up to losing. I will not own up to being pathetic.
See, even the fighting game, which I'm like, meh, I'm going to lose this. Adam's like, ha ha, I win. And I'm like, yeah, you win. Yeah. I'm not crying. I'm not arguing about how you play fighting games all the time and you play Tekken and Street Fighter. No, because I'm not a little bitch.
No.
I'm not a little bitch.
No. But right now, you are a little bitch. You're saying shit like, how's it feel to get your ass kicked? You're a dick. You're goading me.
I'm just saying you lost 2-1.
You see?
You need to own that.
You're goading me. You're goading me, and you know it. And all I said, I brought up the obvious fact, which was, you beat me at the games that you've played.
I never played Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Fuck you. It's your game.
I never played multiplayer, not once.
You never played multiplayer. You see the difference between never played and never played multiplayer?
Multiplayer is the same in every fucking shooter.
No.
Single player's the same. Aiming's the same. The
You're right.
weapons
You're
are
right.
the same.
The aiming and the weapons are all the same, whether it's single player or multiplayer. And you were playing a game that
every
you've
shooter's
played
the same.
times.
If you're going to use that as an excuse, you're even more retarded than I thought.
Every shooter is not the same.
It is.
It isn't the same.
It is.
They're similar. There's a difference between the same and similar.
It's the
and
same.
the fact that
now,
you
there
don't
might
understand
be slightly
that
different
is
strategies
so disappointing. Yes,
with the
very
weapons,
different strategies,
but they're completely different.
You
in
also
single player
you also
and
knew
multiplayer.
which weapons. You knew which weapons that you wanted to use.
No, I
all
didn't.
Right? You
Which
knew.
was clearly
I
evident.
didn't even know you could go up on top of the buildings.
Neither did I. But
really,
I saw,
because you were sniping me from them. You
because
dick.
you walk around the corner and you're like, oh look, it's a ladder. I can go up a ladder.
See,
because
I don't make those assumptions.
You don't make assumptions. Apparently, you've never
walked
around in
the real world. I couldn't figure out how to
Have
jump.
you figured out how stairs work in the real world? Because they work the same in the game.
You know, I barely figured out how to use the trigger, how to shoot people and like recharge.
It's the same in every shooter.
It's not the same in every shooter.
It's always mapped to right or left trigger.
It's one of the right or left triggers, and then
you
the
push
switch
one,
of ones.
and when it doesn't fire, you switch to the other.
You know what I thought was funny? When you started throwing grenades at me, I didn't even know we had grenades. Fuck you.
You pushed the button.
I didn't know there was grenades. But you see,
every fucking shooter game has grenades mapped to the same two fucking buttons.
Wrong.
Yes.
Wrong.
Halo, Call of Duty. Pick a shooter.
All right.
Other than Resistance, which doesn't fucking count because that game was terrible.
Resistance?
Yes. See?
Oh, Resistance. Yeah. But yes, Resistance didn't have grenades, but also
that other shitty Killzone doesn't count either because Killzone wasn't a shooter.
I'm not even mentioning them yet, but okay, there you go. There's another one. But I was actually going to say Unreal Tournament. No grenades.
Unreal Tournament is a PC game.
Unreal Tournament is also on PlayStation.
They ported it to the freaking PlayStation.
I play it on PlayStation.
Not a console shooter.
Who cares? It's a shooter. I've disproven your argument, and you did it too with two fucking examples.
No, I did it with
you
the
couldn't
two.
even do it. You couldn't even do it. If all shooters are the same,
pick a modern shooter. Pick a modern shooter.
I don't play shooters.
Gears of
that
War,
often.
same. Halo, same. Call of Duty, same. You want to name more?
Yeah, because you've just named the same three times. And
Lonely Planet, or whatever the fuck that Capcom game was, same.
Lonely Planet?
The one you were in the ice. I don't even remember. It was so bad.
I don't know. What
it was freaking terrible. Why can't I remember shooters?
Because there's like a million shooters.
That's probably
why. But
you're
just trying to find ones that all have grenades. They don't.
No, I named all the top 5 shooters.
Okay, the top 5 shooters.
Out in the last, I don't know, 5 years. I'm sorry, most people haven't played Unreal Tournament, which is from 2000.
Jeff, could you tell me which one of those top 5 games I've actually played?
If you haven't played them,
oh wait a minute, I win again because I haven't played.
You
those
haven't played
games.
any shooters but Unreal Tournament.
That's the only one I have.
You are the lamest gamer on the planet.
I'm a comic book and TV
you know
nerd.
What? I'm gonna go get you a shooter.
Okay, you go out, you buy me some shooters.
You get that Xbox, I will loan you shooters because I refuse.
You see how it changes to loan? Jeff always changes.
Oh, come on.
The story always changes, Jeff.
But I'll get you a fucking shooter.
Whatever.
I'll hook you up with a bunch on the 360, and then we'll play.
You know what?
I'll still wipe the floor with you.
No, not if I actually get time to play it.
And by the way, your argument that I knew the weapons is such bullshit because I picked a fucking weapon that I didn't even mean to pick.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the fuck they were.
Yeah, and then you picked and then you picked another weapon, and then you started sniping me.
I picked an assault rifle. That's all I wanted. And I didn't snipe once. Watch the video.
Yeah, no, when I say snipe, I mean shooting me when I can't see where the hell you are.
Because you don't look around.
I look around.
It
was the first time I played the game.
An awkward 12-year-old nerd who stares at the ground all the time.
I hate you, Jeff.
And you shoot him from any direction.
I hate you so much.
Are you sniping him?
I hate you
if I walk right up to the front of him and shoot him, he doesn't see me.
All right, you know what? I will admit that you beat me, but can you at least admit that you had a little bit of an advantage?
You had an advantage in DOA. I had an advantage in Dance Central, and I would call Call of Duty a draw.
You are a dick.
Why?
Because you played Call of Duty.
Single player.
Have you beat? It doesn't matter single player.
No, I never beat it.
Just because you don't have the maps memorized, because that's the real difference between single player and multiplayer. You don't have the maps memorized, and there's less
the strategies are completely different.
Okay, all right, you're right. The strategies are completely different, Jeff. You're also full of horse shit.
No, would you say playing single player any fighting game really prepares you for playing against an opponent?
Yes.
Not at all.
You are an idiot.
Not at all.
No, because you learned the moves. You learned how to play your player.
There's no moves in a shooter.
We're talking about you wanted to use the example of a fighting game. And by the way,
it does not help you with strategy.
It does
one bit.
It certainly does help you.
No, not at all.
It might not help you with strategy, but if you have a person who's been playing the video game, even by himself, for a long time, he will beat the person who's never played the video game.
We're going to disprove this. We're going to get Red, who doesn't play fucking fighting games at all, and I'm going to make him come over some Saturday and play the game for 8 hours, and then make him play Cronin.
What's it? This has nothing. This is the dumbest
who wins.
Conversation. You're an idiot. You know what? I want people, please send us just text, emails, everything. Tell Jeff how stupid and wrong he is. Peace. I'm out.
He's not out. But this is where Adam's wrong. Partially, he does like the dick. I'll give him the fact that he's dyslexic. But he's a horrible game player.
I am done with this conversation.
Do you want to hear the last topic someone wanted?
I'm so done with this conversation.
Do you want to hear the last topic?
Go ahead.
Will you
I'm pissed off.
participate?
Maybe.
I think it's fair to the fans that they get all their topics answered.
Is it gonna be another one based in lies?
I don't know. Jonathan posted it.
Let's hear it.
When Adam eats a...
I knew it!
Wait. No. What classic games do you guys think should be remade? Or old series that should be revamped with a throwback title? He names recent games like Bionic Commando and the Sonic games. And
I don't know.
are you going to participate?
Yeah, this is an interesting topic.
I would like to see a new version of Luminous.
Luminous?
Luminous. Lumines, whatever you want to say. It was a PSP puzzle game, like Tetris.
Okay.
I played the hell out of that game. I would love to see it just ported. I don't even need a revamp.
Yeah.
I guess it is a whatever.
I would say Shining Force.
That's not a bad one.
Shining Force would be really good because there's no more. It's a turn-based strategy game. It's a lot of fun.
I love how he just shut off. He's totally back to normal now.
It's a turn-based strategy game / fantasy. There's no games out there like that anymore, and I can't think of any games that have ever been made that are like Shining Force, and I don't understand why. Because Shining Force was incredibly fun.
There was a game on Nintendo where it was like a strategy game overhead, and you were like a god, and you had villagers, and you needed to like kill bats and stuff, and
crap.
What was the name of that? I played the hell out of that game.
Archangel.
No. But that game.
Yeah, that game was fun because you do the angel boards. You have to kill all the demons. Your little angel floating around.
Yeah, floating around, and you have an arrow. You shoot, choo, 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 choo.
And then you go to a board where
you have to fight.
You fall down to earth, and you have to actually fight. And you're a totally different guy for some
reason.
Yeah. No, that was a really good game.
If you can remember it, tell us.
I can't remember the name.
Podcast@wackygamer.com.
Yeah. There are always the scenes where you'd be falling to the earth.
And if you have games that Adam wouldn't whine about playing, you should email.
I hate you. I hate you so much, Jeff. You're just a wiener.
Podcast@wackygamer.com.
Is this how we're ending the podcast, with you being lethargic?
No, you got more games.
Oh, okay.
Got more games you want revamped?
I don't know. See, I'm hesitant to revamp games.
Usually
I hate
they fuck 'em
remakes.
up.
Yeah. So it'd have to be a game where I'm like, I really, really like it. I really miss it. And there's nothing that fills in its shoes. And Shining Force is the one thing that I can actually think of. I mean, I don't know. Golden Axe is always fun.
Golden Axe, yeah.
But yeah, how do you make...
I want another good D&D style side-scrolling.
Yeah, like the Dungeons and Dragons arcade game.
Or the X-Men game.
Mm-hmm.
Side-scrolling X-Men game is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like a really good multiplayer side-scrolling shooter with online.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait a minute. You just... A really good multiplayer side-scrolling...
No, like the old school X-Men, like they were side-scrolling games.
Yeah.
But I want multiplayer.
Well, I mean, it has to have a limit.
Yeah, 4 players.
Okay, yeah.
Like the old games were, but multiplayer online, so I could play with friends.
I could see that. That would be fun. I'd like the D&D game. That would be cool.
Revamp, though.
Yeah. I think arcade games would be the ones that I'd want revamped. I think you're right.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of arcade games. The Michael Jackson game. I think they should make it so you touch kids' buttholes. That's right. I don't care that he's dead.
All right.
I don't care. He was a pederast.
He's a pederast?
A pederast means an active pedophile. Somebody who's actually doing it.
I thought you were talking about like Petabear or something.
No, a pedophile is somebody who's attracted to children. A pederast is somebody who touches children and tries to have sex with them. It's a fundamental difference.
And that's the end of the podcast this week, folks. If you got any topics you want, join us on Facebook.wackgamer.com or email us at podcast@wackgamer.com. And if we didn't blow out your ears with the argument, which while watching the audio, we really maxed out those microphones, you should come back next week. And don't forget, Adam sucks at video games and Dragon Age is the shittiest game around.
Dick!